I'm going to answer questions Americans ask me about Australia. I have all the questions here in my notes app. Okay, let's go down the list. These are real questions that I've gotten on the phone. How are the snakes and spiders? They're doing pretty good. I've only seen half of a snake when I was on a hike in Tasmania, but I've been trying to find them before I see one in my house. Other than that, snakes actually want nothing to do with you, so stop being so conceited, okay? They hear your footsteps, feel the vibration, so they're gonna leave. It's important to know what to do if you do see a snake though, which is stand still. If you're in its way. Okay, number 2. Oh, sorry, let me get back to the spiders. Yes, the huntsman spiders are as big and scary as they look like on the internet. What I will say is you will see them. I've seen 2 in 6 months. Okay, the first one was okay, and I was really scared. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
Guys, pay for me, please.
Oh. The second time was bigger. It was the size of my hand, but I was a little bit more composed. And I opened the cabinet, saw it, closed the cabinet, was I can't deal with this today. And I was sick to my stomach the whole rest of the day at work. Yeah, it's not fun, but you do get used to it. Essentially, the best thing I've ever heard from an Australian is that you might not see the spiders, but they definitely see you. So you just need to live harmoniously with them. People have been doing it in Australia forever, so you just got to get over it. There's so many things to worry about in Australia that it's almost I'm not worried about anything anymore because it's just too much to think about. Number 2. Is Perth in the outback? No, Perth is not in the outback. The outback is the middle of Australia. Perth is on the west coast, which leads me to number 3. What is the west coast? The west coast is quite literally the coast of Australia on the west side. It is Western Australia. It is on the opposite side of Sydney. So if someone's on the coast of Australia, you're not in the outback. I haven't seen the outback. I can't speak to it. A lot of people ask where Sydney is. East Coast, down south. Okay, number 4. Do the toilets flush the opposite way? I actually did try to find out the answer to this, and I'm so sorry that I failed because when I looked in the toilets, the water shoots out of the front. So this is your toilet. The water shoots back, so I can't actually see which way it's turning. But I'm gonna keep a lookout for this one. So sorry I failed you there. Okay, number 5. Australia has states? Yes. So it's not like the US. There are a lot less states than the US that has 50. I don't know if you can see this, but the states are very big. So Western Australia is literally looks like a third of the country. It's just that chunk on the west side. Then there's Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, Northern Territory, and South Australia. And Tasmania. Is Tasmania its own state? We were trying to figure this out when we were there. But anyway, yeah, so when I was in Sydney, I was living in New South Wales, and now I'm living in Queensland. Yeah, every state has its own laws. If you get a certification in one, you might have to get one in the other because it might be different. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, next question. How big is Australia? The best way I can explain this is comparing it to America as far as flight times. So the same way that I would fly from New York to LA, it would take around 5 hours. It takes around 4 to 5 hours to fly from Sydney to Perth, and they're on 2 opposite ends of the country. So Australia is huge, and I have not seen anything in the middle. Am I dating anyone? It turns out that your dating habits don't change just by picking up and moving to another country. You have to actually still put in the work to get into healthy relationships and date. So, no. Okay, next question. What do I do all day? Everything that I did not get to do in the US after my corporate job. So, basically having the daily habits of doing yoga, going swimming, doing something creative, working on writing, YouTube, all that. Things that I would fight to fit in time in my schedule. I get to wake up and do that stuff every day. And it's very peaceful and relaxing. And I am truly so grateful for that. Do I go in the ocean / have I tried surfing? Yes, I've gotten over my fear of the ocean. I have tried surfing, but I could only get to the point where I was standing like on my knees. So I can't stand all the way up. It is so hard. I do not know how people do it. People who grow up here do surfing like in school, I guess, kind of like their gym class, which is crazy. And then people always ask me, have I seen a shark? And also, no, I'm not doing anything where like I would see a shark. Like I'm not swimming out in the deep end. Again, I don't really surf. And there are helicopters monitoring beaches, which will sound off an alarm if there are sharks. The thing you have to worry about more in Australia is actually the current. So like if you're not really that strong of a swimmer, you really should be looking for the signs or like swimming within the flags that they put up, because it can be dangerous and, you know, tourists can drown if you're not really equipped for that. I think if you see someone like swimming or surfing maybe where they shouldn't be, they probably grew up in Australia and have been doing that their whole lives. What type of government does Australia have? I was surprised that a lot of people ask this. They are always like, oh, do they have like a president like the US? And the answer to that is they actually have a prime minister. Do people really say naur and clear? Yeah. Whenever I hear people say no with an Australian accent, I forget that that is actually a real accent, and it's really cool to hear every day. Okay, what is Australian food like? I don't even know what Australian food is, to be honest. I think it's just like American food. Everything is just a burger. Also, if you're gonna come here, like try the Thai food, the Indonesian food, Vietnamese food. Yeah, I don't know what Australian food is. Are the people really hot? Yes, everybody's hot. Even if they're not hot, like they're hot. Okay, last question. Is Melbourne a different place than Melbourne? No. That was just me forgetting who to say what to because I wanted to stop being embarrassed saying Melbourne in front of Australians, but then I accidentally said it to my American friends and it was embarrassing because I sounded pretentious saying Melbourne. No, those are the same place, not two different cities. Okay, well, that is all. We'll see if I have any other questions from people in another 6 months. Bye.